Anywho, this topic, this one we'll first jump on into here, is one that got alerted to me thanks to Lighthaven, aka Sergey, over in the Melee Games Discord. He tagged me in it, and the video that he sent me, I just kind of was like, I completely dismissed, because the clown doing it did not know who Mara Jade was, so I immediately like, nope, you're gone. Gone with you. I immediately stopped the video, but I grabbed the link to this, and although I've done a little more digging of this individual's channel that at least that I'm aware of, because like I said, the guy didn't. I just watched a little bit of it and I dropped out. But here it is. This gentleman or gentlewoman, who knows? LastJawa over here on YouTube. This is the description that I found really quickly. I created a free Star Wars fighting game called Force Combat in the style of Mortal Kombat on the Unity engine. That's the kind of interesting thing, because so many people have been using the Unreal Engine versus Unity. So it's kind of interesting to see somebody pick up the other one and start to do this sort of thing. Has 42 playable characters, 100 plus skins, 60 maps, movie towers story mode, and TV towers story mode. I created a Star Wars fan art, 3D models, and play around with game engines like Unreal and Unity as a hobby, and want to share my creations with everybody. And this is where we'll kind of check out. The only my gripe with this, though, is that he does use current Disney characters and stuff too for this, but he does also use and have expanded universe characters, because I've already seen some of the roster, and there are characters like Darth Malgus. You do have Mara Jade, Satil Shan, and some others. So we'll kind of take a look at a couple of these. We'll take a look at these like updated, some of these updates, just to kind of take a look at a couple of things. It also does have Star Killer, Galen Merrick, in as well. So, like I said, combining a lot of things. I'll always have my gripes, so when you're using Disney content. But let's check some of this out really quick, shall we? Shall we? Just make sure. Heard. Damn Black Red Unity, just like Rick James said. All right, let's go with the most recent one. Yes. Make sure it's even being heard. I gotta hide something. Okay, good. Force Combat Beta Update 1.2 now out, and I will do a quick little demo for it, because I do have it on my computer and ready to go. New fighter Bo-Katan, Mando Season 3 Tower Story Tower. Oh, kind of curious what he's using for the voice lines. Just if he's just grabbing from the show and stuff like that, or I gotta say, some of the animation and moves is looking pretty pretty smooth. And I did like I played a little bit of it, and Maul is kind of an ass. He was tough to get through. Oh, Star Killer in that like he looked like he was in a Tuscan garb, but it was just. Oh, for fun! Oh, come on, really? Did you have to put in Darth Jar Jar? Come on. Yeah, Blackbird saying, no. You gotta summon it from within. Unity! There we go. That better. Why aren't the limbs flying off all the lightsaber hits? Is this the Disney game? Well, it is a fighting game. So you can't quite have that immediate limb severing of limbs that quickly. Sadly, they are not going. This person is not going the Bushido blade route, which would be a cool way to do it. I wish I knew how to do this sort of stuff, or else I would probably. If I were to make a Star Wars fighting game to go back to that sort of stuff, I would go the Bushido blade route and make it that the lightsabers are even the the blasters and stuff like that are all lethal. And if you get that right hit on somebody, then you can have your 17-second fight. New skins. There's Darth Maul. I guess you got him in his new look, the recent look. That's interesting. Got Qui-Gon in the kind of Obi-Wan Clone Wars armor there. Dan Blacker saying they did in an old fighting game. You could take off each limb with a weapon from the opening bell. For a Star Wars fighting game? Because I don't recall. I know there was the Terras Kasi fighting game back in the day, but you didn't take limbs off. It was very much like it was in this same style of taking all the hits and stuff like that. And then, like I said, Bushido Blade was the fighting game that I knew of, where you could disable people's limbs, but then if you got the right strike on somebody, you'd kill them immediately. But for Star Wars, Terras Kasi was like the only other fighting game that they really did, and it's rough. It's rough to play today. It's not as like fluid or smooth as fighting games are now. Although I played it back in the day, I enjoyed the shit out of it. I loved it. So. And it says, Dan Bugger says it was a 3D fighting game with multi-directional movement around the stage. Not Star Wars, a real fighting game, not based off a kid's movie. I'm wondering which game you're talking about then. I'm really curious. I'm really curious, because like I said, the other one that I knew for like damage dealing for, it was like samurais and stuff. The only thing that I can think of then would be Bushido Blade. But maybe there was something else. I could bring up that game in just a moment. Let's get through this. Jango Fett armor. Oh, and look at that! Even can play it on Unity, play it on Steam Deck. For fuck's sake! Yeah, there's Mando. Black Racing. I don't know what it was called. I have never seen it again since I was a kid. Okay. Okay, so that was the most recent little update that they put out for this, and then so he does have a Patreon set up, but you can still download it for. You don't have to like be a contributor to the Patreon, and I will provide links to everything, especially when I clip this out. And after the show, I can put the links in the description. And here I'll even I'll throw the links into the chat so you can go and grab it as well if you are so inclined. You want to check it out for yourself. It's never a bad idea. All right, there's both for the Patreon to go for the download and then the YouTube channel. Hello, Hassan. How's it going? Saying finally a spiritual successor to Masters of Terras Kasi. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. He ever remembers it? Yeah, Black Red says. Hassan saying Battle Arena Toshinden. Huh. I've heard of that one. Dan Blacker says, the thing about old fighting games the other day, ones that never get mentioned, like Killer. God, I mean, I have Killer. I have like Paul Hadoken did a great cover of what he calls it like Ultimate Combo, and it's of some. It's I think it's like the intro for Killer Instinct. Great track, and I loved Killer Instinct. Yeah, and, Clay Fighters was fun too. Bloody Roar, I remember I played all of those back in the day. Those were fun. Killer Instinct, I tried the most recent one that is under Microsoft Rare now, and it was so loaded up with basically like their DLC microtransactions telling you to buy. I got annoyed with it, and I didn't like. I was like, no, because it was really like it was basically like to the equivalent of a mobile game, and it was really disappointing. So I loved Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct was a blast, but I refunded it. I was like, nope, I'm getting rid of this. I don't want this. I recently, I think, I saw Primal Rage being mentioned on X, and I retweeted it, and I was like, yeah, this one was a great one. My brother played Talon. He was the only one that was able to do some of the fatality moves, and that game was fun. And it is great too, because then you could eat the little villagers, worshippers off to the side of the arena and stuff like that, or fling them through the air and everything. It was good times. Dan Blacker does say, yeah, that could be it for the Toshinden. Okay. So, on the Patreon page, Force Combat Beta 1.2 public release. The latest version of the fighting game, Force Combat Beta version 1.2, has been released to the public, and you got, like I said, you don't have to be a contributor or anything like that. You can just head on over to the download link and grab it. Force Combat Beta version 1.26 public release. Just basically, and it really is. It's just dropping the folder onto your desktop or whatever, and you can just start playing. So new unlockable characters: the fierce Mandalorian warrior Lady Bo-Katan Kryze has entered the combat arena. Beat the path of the Force game mode with Lando Calrissian on normal or higher to unlock her. New playable TV tower, Mandalorian Season 3. Play the story of Season 3 of the show and take special characters including Alamites, Imperial Commandos, a spider tank, and Moff Gideon in his Dark Trooper suit. Towers now feature certain multi-wave battles where you must defeat a number of opponents on a single life bar. Characters can now cancel into specials from any basic move except the sweep and jumps. All characters now have a back throw. New moves and animations for Mandalorian, Darth Maul, Anakin Skywalker, Starkiller, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Kylo Ren, Rey. New unlockable skins, so we saw some of that in the trailer. Which I think it's funny that puts in Indiana Jones skins for Han Solo. We got all of those. Let's see. So it also is talking about bug fixes. And then down towards the bottom here, I know that it talks about, yeah, it's a Steam Deck guide. So they have the Steam Deck guide here so you can transfer it over and get it activated through Steam. Walks you through it, which is really good because I know a lot of people do like using their Steam Deck for playing a lot of these games. I know Dan Blackred. I made that point that he says, although I didn't specify, that never appeared in Phantom Menace. But yeah, they added all non-canon characters that never appeared in the Phantom Menace, as Dan Blackred says. This is true. This is very, very true. But otherwise, and let's oh darn it, I keep forgetting to add certain things to my Stream Deck. Okay, here we go. Hopefully, there we go. All right, so we're gonna come on over here to the gaming side, and we will check this out really quick. Because like I said, it's interesting for sure. Although I probably have to... Okay. Son says, but what about Jabba? What about Salacious B. Crumb? That's, you should maybe make that suggestion to him. Although now I'm curious if it's going to pick... Okay, there it goes. Here we go! And this is why it also kind of took me a little bit to start the stream today, was I was getting this all set up. Or just making sure it was going to be running and everything. That I wasn't going to have too much issue. Nope, I'm just doing something else here really quick. I'll have to change that later. Okay, and it is kind of an interesting thing with this, is every time you go back to this screen, it will it'll change. So there'll always be something different with this whole thing. And even though it says press start, I can't just press start on the Xbox controller that I'm using for this. It has to be the button controllers that'll do it. So here you see the Path of the Force, movie towers, TV towers versus training mode. The options are very limited. It's just showing you the music and then the sound and the mode. That's it. You got credits. So we'll go into versus, player versus CPU, just to kind of show it off really quick. So unfortunately, if you can see it, there's the characters off to the sides here that are grayed out, and I can't select, unfortunately. And I didn't realize that was going to be an issue. when I was first getting ready for the stream today. So as it is, we do have, of course, Luke, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka. We got the Mando bitch, Star Killer, Mara Jade, Yoda. We got Grievous, TFU, Jedi Leia. Oh, look at that! I didn't know that they had Kyle Katarn in this. Okay, well then I guess I know who I had to play as first. Let's see. Who shall I go after? Do we have Ander? Let me beat up. Oh, I don't see him. All right, I want to be able to beat the ever living tar out of Ander one day. Here we go. We'll just do Kyle versus Luke here. Oh, Ricotta Prime, War Room, Starforge, Throne Room. I'm already like off the bat. That's funny. You start out on KOTOR maps, and I happen to be cycling through first, and then Throne Room 3. This is Star Wars: The Old Republic when you fight Malgus. The Secret Asteroid Lair. You got Coruscant, Naboo Power Core, Power Vent Shaft, Petronaka Arena, the Geonosis Hangar, Yavin 4, Teth, Dathomir. Although this looks like Clone Wars Dathomir. Pirate Base. Okay. Floor Room. Pirate Base Damaged. Jedi Temple. Obadiah. Lee Merge Building. Utapau. Chancellor's Office. Galactic Senate. Sundari Palace. They got a lot of maps. Mustafar. Dayu Cargo Port. I mean, they wasn't kidding. Oh, god damn it. It's a fucking toll bridge. Fortress Inquisitorius, Jabim, Uncharted Moon, Aurelia, Malachor, Desert Camp. Oh, that's Rebels when Obi-Wan killed Maul finally. Jeddah, Scarif, Lars Homestead, Death Star Hangar, Hoth, Dagobah, Cloud City, Carbon Freeze Chamber, Jabba's Palace, Pit of Carcoon, Endor, Throne Room. So there we got the Throne Room from Return of the Jedi. Tusken Camp, the new shit Tuskens, Navarro, Arvala 7, Mudhorn Cave. Mudhorn? Oh, fuck. Client Bunker. Sorgon? Oh, that's the fucking. That is the. Speaking of Gina Carano, that's the first episode with her. New Republic security ship, Fight Pit, Mos Pelgo. Oh god. Moldo Kreis, Corvus, Tython. Doesn't look like Tython. Morak, the Outpost. Light Cruiser, Mos Espa, they have a lot of maps. Mines of Mandalore, Plaza 15, Remnant Base, Star Killer Forest. Huh. Oh god, Throne Room 2, Last Jedi. Hangar Firestorm, Crate, Resurgent, Death Star Wreckage. Okay, Exegol. Club Obi-Wan. What? Club Obi-Wan? What the hell? Oh, Temple of Doom. I didn't know I didn't pay attention to that. Dan Blackbird said plays Anakin's mother. Hassan says nice legend characters like Kyle and Mara. Throne Room. Oh, the Senate. Oh no, the laser toll gate. Yeah, fucking Lord. I know where I want to do this. Let's go to Yavin. Yeah, Temple of Doom, says Dan Blackroyd.
There's gotta be a better way to make a living.
I will never join the dark side. I'm a Jedi.
Round 1. Fight.
You should.
he has his lightning. Oh, and he's got... Oh, that was, and they do have the move list right here, although I don't know which is button 3 and button 1. Controls. Oh, here we go. Button 1, button 3. Okay. Oh wait, let me go back to that. Block, okay.
Let's go. No.
He keeps farting at me. Oh crap!
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Round 2. Fight.
Take it. No. I'll get
A little lightning for you, bitch.
No.
Damn it! To spam the tokens. Oh, so like I said, when you go back to the main menu, it takes you into it'll do a different like screen. So let's do one more quick little match. I'll get my butt kicked by somebody else. So yeah, I think we have to check out Club Obi-Wan. So, oh, even the background for this changed. Jesus. Let's see. Okay, he puts Yoda up on the pedestal so he can still be seen. Let's see. For Club Obi, let's see. Here we go. We'll do. Jesus, he's a beast. Holy crap. All right, I would say Jawa out there, if you happen to come across this, maybe make it that you like, much like selecting a character, you could do it the same way where you got the whole layout of all the maps, because this is trying to cycle through all of them is a bit tedious, if I do say so myself. So yeah, here we go. We're going to Club Obi-Wan.
Some believe you are destined to walk this path.
I am Darth Malgus.
Yes, you are, Darth Malgus.
Round 1. Fight.
He just keeps spamming that shit.
Enough games. Enough games.
Gotta like stay right on top of him so he isn't always doing that. 3, 3, 1.
It is not
Typical Sith and their cheap tricks.
Fight.
Enough games.
And you may not be able to hear it, but like you can hear like the music and stuff from like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and stuff.
Emperor's wrath.
Oh, that got a little choppy there. Okay, so my own first impressions of this, I would say some of it's a little slow responsively for some of the response on the like if I'm using the controller especially, like I don't know if it plays because I'm sorry, I can't do this I can't do a fighting game on a keyboard. Like to me this has to be on a controller. And so I mean just even from getting to try this out is pretty cool in and of itself. I would just say some of the combat needs to be a little more tweaked and kind of made a little more fluid. AI probably needs a bit of work too, but I mean I'm sure he already knows this. And I mean I'm no fighting game pro or nothing. I'm just a random schlub that does enjoy an occasional fighting game. But I mean, so far it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. You got the characters that each fight in their own unique way. Yeah, she kind of was doing like that kind of like we, but her and Qui-Gon I know do kind of like a weird like healing kind of thing. And that's what she kind of went into a quick meditative stance when I did the move. So it also looks like a Yoshimitsu thing. And so, I mean, like it is, they got a good selection of characters to kind of, you do have to earn the rest though. And maybe at some point I may have to go through because we of course see Indiana Jones down there. Okay, so he's his own separate character with Han Solo. We do have Darth Revan. You got Darth Revan right there, the Praetorian Guard. You got Talon, Darth Malak, Plo Koon, Cal Kestis there. Is that Padme? And then there's the Mando bitch. Oh, is that supposed to be Dark Ray? God. I'm not sure who that. Oh, that must be Last Jedi. Jake Skywalker. You got Qui-Gon, the Grievous guards. I forgot what they're called specifically. I believe that's Bastila, right next to Han there, and the. Oh, if they okay. Wait, do they have a sand? Do they have a sand person? A sand Enwa. Okay, if I could make a suggestion, if I'm trying to remember which. Okay, if you have okay. Hang on, let me bring up the. LastJawa. I don't know if the Gamorrean guard there is named Thok, but if you have I believe it's the sand person, the sand Enwa, and you recreate this would be hilarious. Because there was a Gamorrean and a sand person in Star Wars Masters of Teräs Käsi from back on the PlayStation. And the funniest damn thing in the world to me as a kid. Okay, so if the Gamorrean happens to be named Thok, and then you have the sand person name, which basically sounds like whore. So if you have whore versus Thok, that would be gold. That would be, because it always sounded like whore versus fuck when we were playing. So if you do that, that would be exceptional. But I don't know what the Gamorrean guard is called, so I can't speak to that. But yeah, so I mean, you got a crazy start, and so we'll kind of, let me just show. So Path of the Force. So you got your difficulty selections, you got your different towers here, and you got, so basically if you are familiar with Mortal Kombat and the way they have the towers and stuff like that, that's very much this. And you can start out with a small tower list here. That's the Path of the Force. There's probably all ways that you unlock characters and stuff like that. Oops, crashed. I was probably going, in and out of the game a little too much for it. But let me bring that up again just really quick here, just so I can show then the other half. Yeah, very, very much Hassan. The tower is very much from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Boba Fett was on the player list. Boba Fett was there. There's no Cad Bane though, but there's Boba Fett. She doing so, oh wait, I already got that. Let's see. Dan Blackbird said should have a level specific environmental danger with short round driving the car through and hitting you if you jump. Oh, that would be great. That's some environmental attacks and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool, because they did that with the later Mortal Kombat. I know Mortal Kombat 11 has some of those. That would be pretty cool. Oh, you're right, Hassan. I picked Club Obi-Wan and I didn't play as Obi-Wan. That was a missed opportunity. Okay. So there was the Path of the Force, and they had the movie towers. And you basically then, movie towers, you push up or down to switch between difficulty and tower select. You got the light side original trilogy here. Dark side. So this is a light side, dark side, light side here as well. You got the prequels. And again, vice versa, prequels. Of course, sadly, you got the sequel shit. But that's the movie towers, and then they have TV towers. So you're going off of like the Clone Wars. Oh, they do have Cad Bane. You can fight Cad Bane in this, but I didn't see him in the roster to play as. Unless he's like an alternate skin for somebody. So there's Cad Bane. And this is light side the Clone Wars, dark side the Clone Wars. Oh, it looks like they even have a young Ahsoka. Is that, oh, they, oh, I forget his name now. Fuck. God, I completely ditched. So there's season 1 of The Mandalorian, season 2, Book of Dad Bod Fett, even Obi-Wan Kenobi, good lord. Oh, they have the Inquisitors too, Jesus. TV Tower, season 3 of Mandalorian, season 3, oh, Jesus. Oh, and there's Ahsoka season 1 coming soon. So they will have there's going to be the Ahsoka Tower. But yeah, so those are all the TV towers. Another suggestion I would say would be like a video game tower. And then that way you could fit in, because I don't see with these towers, the movie towers, and I didn't see with the, oh, although that was maybe Path of the Force where I saw, well, Path of the Force, yeah, this is where they have the like video game characters too, Mara Jade and stuff. And so I would even say like you could do other, like, not necessarily as this Path of the Force, but then do, you'd have the video game towers. That's where you could have like the Kyle Katarn, Dasan, and whatnot, and Rosh, Jaden Core, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of room to expand with this, I think. And I don't know what else he has planned, what LastJawa has planned for this, but I mean, so far, off to a good start, I would say. And I mean, kudos for putting in the work to do this sort of thing. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, that was Force Combat Beta. It's in the beta. It feels beta, but definitely on its way to, you know, getting to the probably like a more getting there to a final build level. But I mean, yeah, I'd say the beta is probably about right for its status. Crazy amount of maps, I gotta say, and a good selection of characters. The unlocks, I'm kind of curious how that will actually work, but I mean, yeah, you can just work through and start unlocking them too. Okay, so I was just I'm making this a later recording after that stream, but I was talking about, oh, the unlocks and stuff like that. What is that going to look like? So here it is. Basically, through the unlocks of, even just for character appearances, we'll start there. I don't know how well you can see that, but right there by Mace Windu, right above his look, you can see beat the Path of the Force on easy difficulty to unlock this skin. So that is going to be how those unlocks are going to be working. And it's kind of funny too, because when I was looking at this is where, of course, like you see the different, so that one, earn 5,000 or greater XP and beat Path of the Force to unlock this skin. And under some of these other characters, they basically hide other characters for the unlocks. So here, like Seventh Sister, you'll see then Unmasked, but then you'll see Second Sister, Reva there, Third Sister, Ninth Sister. This is how they kind of hide some of the additional characters even. But this is how that, so by going through Path of Force or unlocking or earning the experience points to beat Path of the Force and everything like that is how then you'll get some of these additional looks for the characters. And like I said, for some, in a funny way, they hide some extra characters, but I think that's mainly because I think I don't know if Mando has, yeah, it's just so Mando. So I don't know how personally, like, because then yeah, you even got the different Kyle Katarn looks. It's all about beating Path of the Force through different modes, different characters, and that's how you're gonna unlock those other ones. Kind of like how I said with Lando, that you go through to beat Lando's Path of the Force, and you unlock Bo-Katan. So that's how that'll be working out, and I just wanted to at least kind of update and provide that little bit extra information that I did discover after playing this a bit more after the Respawn Rose Cantina stream. So there you go. But I mean, yeah, you can just work through and start unlocking them too. Let's see. So yeah, sounds saying nice. Savage Oppress. Yes, I saw Savage there. Dan Blacker said, would be good if it was unlocked after you beat them in story mode. I'm sure that's it. Like, once you go through the story modes and stuff like that, you start unlocking characters, and probably, depending on who you play as, considering in this, he said, if you play as Lando Calrissian, yeah, beat the Path of the Force game mode with Lando Calrissian on normal or higher to unlock Bo-Katan. So I'm sure as you play through his different characters, you'll unlock other characters to play as. Super Battle Droids and Commandos, yeah. I mean, all the different clones and stuff. Hassan says, looks like they have the foundations there for a decent fighting game, the usual arcade versus training, etc. Yeah, absolutely. And as he says, just need to refine the actual combat. Absolutely. Because I was even hearing somebody say that Darth Maul's a little broken. So, you know, just again, refinement, keep working at it. You got something that's really, really, really cool here, I have to say. So, like I said, I've already provided links in the chat if you want to go check it out yourself. I will also put those links in the description for this episode and when I clip it out, so you can check it out as well for yourself. You're even gonna kind of.
Thank you for watching this clip from Respawn Roast Cantina. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see, and check out the full episode.